Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 1, Regret. A private hospital in Pingjiang City. Yi Qingqing grabbed the neck of Yilan, who was shivering on the hospital bed. The old face was contorted with anger, in stark contrast to the young and beautiful Yilan. Obviously Yilan is 2 years older than her. Xiaotong also calls your sister, how can you go so far as to dig his heart? Are you still human? Yi Qingqing asked angrily that her brother Xiaotong was the only motivation for her to survive. Now that Xiaotong is gone, she can't live anymore. But she wants revenge. For Xiaotong, who died tragically, and for her own suffering. Xiaotong was in a car accident, so it's a waste not to use your heart. Yilan was so choked that she looked at Yi Qingqing in horror. How did this escape in prison? Yi Qingqing increased the strength in her hand, Yilan's breathing became weaker and weaker, and the blood on her face gradually disappeared. Do you still want to lie to me? I have heard what you and Lu Qingchuan said. Xiaotong's car accident was manipulated by you. Lu Qingchuan married me for my mother's inheritance. He put me in prison so that I wouldn't die. I'll be your backup heart bank for Yilan. Every time Yi Qingqing said a word, the strength in her hand increased by a point. The figure in front of Yilan gradually blurred, and she shouted in a hoarse voice, Qingchuan, save me. I didn't expect that I would escape, right? Yi Qingqing looked at Yilan coldly, took the fruit knife from the cabinet beside the bed, and in Yilan's terrified eyes, tore off the hospital gown on her body. The ugly scar was like a centipede, still fresh, and inside it was Xiaotong's heart beating. What are you going to do? Bitch! You are not worthy of Xiaotong's heart. Yi Qingqing pinched Yilan's neck with one hand and a knife in the other, stabbed Yilan's chest without hesitation, and made a deep circle around the scar. Yilan let out a hoarse and desperate roar in pain. Yin Hong's blood stained the hospital gown and the quilt. Yilan's pupils slowly expanded, her body fell backward, her eyes widened. Yilan didn't want to understand until she died. Yi Qingqing, who was in prison, how did she escape? Yi Qingqing wanted to take out her brother's heart. Yilan, this slut, was not worthy of Xiaotong's heart, but she just stretched out her hand when gunshots rang out, and there was a sharp pain in her chest. She glanced blankly at the extra hole in her chest and fell to the ground. She saw Lu Qingchuan, who was knocked unconscious by her just now, and pointed her gun at her. Bitch, you killed Lan'er, I'm going to kill you. Lu Qingchuan looked at Yilan, who had no breath on the hospital bed, and finally waited for this day. Lan'er would be his bride in a month, but now. Bitch! Lu Qingchuan raised the gun again. As long as Yi Qingqing died, her large inheritance would belong to him. Lan'er was gone, but the inheritance must be obtained. Yi Qingqing smiled abruptly, Lu Qingchuan, come here, I'll tell you the password of the bank safe. You are the man I loved after all. I'm dying, kiss me. After 5 years of marriage, you haven't kissed me yet. Yi Qingqing looked at him begging, her humble eyes pleased Lu Qingchuan, it also lowered his vigilance. He walked over slowly, still holding a gun in his hand, squatting beside Yi Qingqing, leaning down to give him a perfunctory kiss. Yi Qingqing's breathing gradually weakened, and it seemed that there was no threat at all. Lu Qingchuan became less wary and got closer to Yi Qingqing's face. Ah, bitch! Lu Qingchuan cried out in pain, a dagger stuck in his heart, which Yi Qingqing had hidden on his body beforehand. Lu Qingchuan shot her a few more times. Yi Qingqing smiled slightly, she had already avenged her death and had no regrets. No, there are still regrets. Lu Mo. The man who originally had a marriage contract with her. She is also the only person she has let down. Unexpectedly, the last person to help her would be Lu Mo. Obviously, Lu Mo is such a disciplined person, but now he helps her escape from prison and forges a fake identity for her. Lu Mo. I'm sorry. Yi Qingqing murmured, her eyes getting blurry. Yilan is dead. Lu Qingchuan was stabbed in the heart and couldn't live. What she owes her, she has already paid for it. But what she owes Lu Mo can only be repaid in the next life. If there is an afterlife. Yi Qingqing had already felt the coming of death, the door was knocked open, and it was Lu Mo who came. Although he was in a wheelchair, his back was still straight. Why didn't you leave? Lu Mo looked at Yi Qingqing, who was dying. Yi Qingqing tried her best to open her eyes wide, trying to see Lu Mo's face, but she only saw the white frost on the two manies. How could she age so quickly? Is it because of unfulfilled ambitions? I'm sorry. Aunt Fong didn't. I killed it. I know. Lu Mo nodded, he only found out the truth recently. Lu Mo. If there is an afterlife, I will definitely watch over you, for the rest of my life. Yi Qingqing's voice gradually disappeared, and her blood-stained hands hung down weakly. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 2, Break Off an Engagement. Qingqing. Grandpa Lu is back. Go and tell him now that you want to break off your marriage with Lu Mo. The gentle voice rambled in my ears, which was more annoying than the constant voices outside the window. Yi Qingqing stared blankly at the sycamore tree outside. The window rustled by the wind, the lush green leaves, the hot and humid wind, and Ji, who was desperately screaming, all showed that it was a hot summer. Obviously she is dead. Died in the chilling autumn. Also, why isn't Yilan dead yet? Yi Qingqing slowly raised her head and saw Yilan in a white dress. This looked much younger, her face was as pale as ever, but it also made men pity more. For example, Lu Qingchuan held Yilan in his palm like an eyeball. Yi Qingqing's heart jumped violently, she pushed Yilan away, and saw the calendar hanging on the wall behind her. July 9, 1995. She was reborn, returning to 11 years ago. Heaven has mercy, she can start all over again. In this life, she will no longer be treated like a fool and played around in circles. Don't be fascinated by sweet words again in your eyes and heart. Don't distinguish between good and bad again, stupid like a pig. What I owe her. I have to pay it back 100-fold. Yi Qingqing looked at Yilan coldly, bitch, just wait for her revenge. Yilan shuddered and looked at Yi Qingqing suspiciously. This idiot took a nap, how could he feel like a different person? The look in his eyes just now was so terrifying, as if he wanted to kill someone. Qingqing, what's wrong with you? Did you have a nightmare? Yilan asked with concern. Yi Qingqing sneered to herself, what a caring sister, she will always find the perfect reason for you. In her previous life, she stepped into the abyss step by step under this sweet, but actually poisonous caring. It also implicated Xiaotong. Yes, the dream I had just now was terrifying. In the dream, sister, you kissed Lu Qingchuan together and pushed me into the river. Yi Qingqing pretended to be afraid and observed Yilan secretly. Yilan's complexion changed slightly, her pale face flushed crimson, she was too shy. Yi Qingqing sneered secretly, these two men and women have already hooked up together, she used to be really blind, why didn't she find out about the adultery between the two men and women? Qingqing, what kind of messy dreams are you having? Brother Qingchuan likes you, how could he be with me, oh? Brother Qingchuan just called to say that Grandpa Lu has taken back Lu Mo, and both legs are broken. It will never be possible to stand up again. Yilan shook her head with a sigh, hey. Lu Mo is so pitiful, he will be a waste in the future, and the troops can't stay there anymore, Qingqing. This is a great opportunity for you, a good reason for you, you are so young, you mustn't guard it. Crippled. Grandpa Lu is very open-minded. As long as you make it clear to the old man, Grandpa Lu will definitely agree to break off the marriage. You go ahead and talk about it, and then Mom and Dad come forward, and the marriage can be called off. Yi Qingqing sat in front of the dressing table, admiring the beauty in the mirror. She has always known that she is beautiful, as delicate and dazzling as a red rose blooming in the morning, and Yilan, as delicate as a dodder flower, cannot be compared with her at all. She gently caressed her young and beautiful face. Her skin was as smooth as silk, breakable by blowing bullets, and showed a healthy rosy glow. Yilan, a sick child standing beside her, would be turned into scum at any time. Qingqing, did you listen to me? Yilan didn't get a response for a long time, so Yilan couldn't help asking. Although she was dissatisfied, her eyes still showed concern. The hypocritical smile made Yi Qingqing just want to stab this to death again. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 3, Goodbye Brother. What did you say? I didn't hear it. Yi Qingqing said deliberately, but sneered in her stomach. It was at this time in the previous life that Lu Mo came back with a full body of injuries. Under Yi Lan's bewitchment, she ran to Grandpa Lu to quarrel to break off the marriage. The reason was that Lu Mo had become a crippled person. Yi Qingqing slapped herself angrily. How could she be so stupid? Another stab at Lu Mo's already scarred heart made Grandpa Lu feel cold to her. In her previous life, she was framed by Lu Qingchuan and put in prison. Grandpa Lu used to love her so much, but he never saw her once. In the end, the one who helped her was Lu Mo, who had been humiliated and hurt by her. Qingqing, why are you slapping yourself? Yi Lan felt a chill, took Yi Qingqing's shirt from the bed and put it on, looking at Yi Qingqing who was acting strangely. Wouldn't the fool still be sleepwalking? A mosquito bites me. Yi Qingqing's expression was sullen, she couldn't smile at Yi Lan at all, and she couldn't bear not to kill the slut. She had tried her best to restrain herself. Yi Lan believed it to be true, and repeated what she just said again, taking the trouble. Yi Qingqing's eyes were cold, and the corners of her lips were slightly sarcastic. Before Yi Lan could finish her sentence, she asked abruptly, "Where's Xiaotong?" Yi Lan's mouth was dry and she was interrupted. Her dissatisfaction had reached its peak. She suppressed her anger and said softly, "Xiaotong is still taking a nap." Before she could react, Yi Qingqing flew out of the room like a gust of wind. Yi Lan was stunned for a while, and quickly followed. The things that Brother Qingchuan explained have not been completed yet. This fool is weird today. He used to hear Brother Qingchuan, and her eyes would light up. She didn't need to say more. Brother Qingchuan told the fool to go east, but the fool would never go west. Nothing. It's so abnormal. Yi Qingqing rushed to her brother Yi Tong's room, which was next to hers. She gently opened the door. Yi Tong lay quietly on the bed, with her hands and feet well organized, and did not move at all. Xiaotong. Yi Qingqing's eyes were wet. She tiptoed to the bedside, and touched her brother's warm and fleshy hands. 12-year-old Yi Tong was a little fat, with fleshy arms and hands. Xiaotong, thank you for being alive. In this life, my elder sister will definitely keep you safe and never let you be bullied again. Yi Qingqing kissed her brother's forehead, and took a towel to gently wipe off the fine sweat on it. Only then did she realize that the fan in Yi Tong's room was gone. No wonder she was sweating all over. She lowered her face, and without looking at Yi Lan behind her, she went straight to another younger brother Yi Hua's room, also on the second floor. Yi Hua is 1 year older than Yi Tong, and Yi Lan is a brother and sister. They were both born before her stepmother Shen Yanhong married her father Yi Zhigua. The father of the two siblings was hit by a car and was paralyzed in bed for 3 years. In half a year, Shen Yanhong married Yi Zhigua with her sister and brother, and lived in this garden house in the urban area of Pingjiang. The property of Yi Qingqing's biological mother, Su Qingya, in the garden house. When Su Qingya gave birth to Yi Tong, the hemorrhage disappeared, and Yi Tong also suffered from IQ problems because of the lack of oxygen in her stomach for a long time. 12-year-old Yi Tong has only the IQ of a 5-year-old. Yi Hua was sleeping soundly on the bed, with 2 fans blowing against each other, very comfortable. Yi Qingqing wanted to take away her brother's fan in the past, but when she saw Yi Hua's sleeping face from a distance, her heart skipped a beat, and suddenly found that Yi Hua's sleeping posture and appearance were very similar to her father, Yi Zhigua, like copy and paste. Just in different sizes. She hadn't discovered it before. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 4, Inseparable. All kinds of doubts from the previous life came up all of a sudden. Yi Zhigua loved Yi Lan's sister and brother very much, and the treatment was exactly the same as her and Xiaotong, and after her accident in her previous life, Yi Zhigua only came to see her once, and then she never came again. And about Xiaotong's death, did Yi Zhigua really know nothing about it? Or, he was actually an accomplice? After all, Yi Zhigua in the previous life had always hated Xiaotong, but he loved Yi Hua in every possible way. Yi Hua often bullied Xiaotong, but Yi Zhigua never cared. Yi Qingqing was suspicious and thought of a possibility. She had to check it out. If what she guessed was true, there would be one more object of revenge in this life, Yi Zhigua. Even her own father. Killing Xiaotong is her mortal enemy. It is more likely that Yi Zhiguo also betrayed his mother. Yi Qingqing pressed her doubts to the bottom of her heart, and took away a fan. Still not relieved, she lifted her foot and kicked Yi Hua's plump buttocks with all her strength. Yi Hua rolled onto the floor and woke up suddenly, ready to curse when she opened her mouth. Yi Qingqing kicked again. "I'll grab Xiaotong's fan later, get out of my house and sleep on the road." Yi Hua was tall and strong, but he was afraid of Yi Qingqing, because Yi Qingqing was the princess in the family, and everyone had to coax her, not to make her unhappy, otherwise Yi Zhiguo would curse. Second sister. "I won't dare any more." Yi Hua begged for mercy, but she hated it to death. "Don't call me second sister, I only have one younger brother, Xiaotong. If you bully Xiaotong in the future, get out of here immediately. This house belongs to me, remember it clearly for me." Yi Qingqing looked at Yi Hua disdainfully. Even if her guess was true, she would only admit that Xiaotong's younger brother, Yi Hua, a bastard, was as cheap and abominable as Yilan. Wash her neck and wait. Their good days are over. Yilan gritted her teeth, hatred flashed in her eyes, and it was such a high-spirited tone. This is what she hated Yi Qingqing the most. She was obviously just a beautiful fool, but she was regarded as a treasure by her parents. Gotta let her go. Although there was a reason for the incident, Yilan couldn't take it anymore. She wished that Yi Qingqing would immediately become nothing, and everyone could be despised and humiliated. Yilan's gentle face flashed coldness. She was not in a hurry, the day would come soon. As long as Yi Qingqing goes to the Lu family to break off the marriage, and then marry brother Qingchuan, everything Yi Qingqing has will become hers. "Qingqing, Xiaohua is ignorant," I turned around and scolded him severely, "don't be angry." Yilan winked at Yi Hua secretly, with a pleasing smile on her face. Yi Hua said angrily, "I won't dare in the future." Yi Qingqing snorted softly and left the room with the fan in hand. Yi Hua's room was blocked from the sun. In the afternoon, it was hot and stuffy like a steamer. She didn't want to stay for a second. Back in Yi Tong's room, Yi Qingqing turned the fan to the lowest setting, placed it beside the bed, and blew on Yi Tong's lower body. Yi Tong's body was weak, and blowing on his head would cause him to catch a cold. Feeling the slightest cool breeze, Yi Tong smiled slightly. He was somewhat similar to Yi Qingqing, but cooler, like an ink painting, peaceful and peaceful. Yi Qingqing left Yi Tong's room, looked at Yilan who was following her, lowered her head and sneered silently. Since Yilan and Lu Qingchuan have tried their best, she has to go through the motions anyway. Besides, she also wanted to meet Lu Mo. She is still her fiancé now. She will be her husband in the future. It will never change for a lifetime. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 5, Doubtful Blood Type. Lu Mo is back. Yi Qingqing asked. Yilan was stunned for a moment and was very happy, thinking that Yi Qingqing had finally reacted, and hurriedly said, "Yes, Grandpa Lu has brought Lu Mo back. Brother Qingchuan said that Lu Mo's legs are broken, and he can only do it for the rest of his life. In a wheelchair." Yi Qingqing's heart skipped a beat. 11 years have passed since his previous life, but Lu Mo still couldn't walk, and his legs were obviously atrophied. No wonder he was only 35 years old, but his temples were already covered in frost. A hero who is all-powerful on the battlefield, he can only sit in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and even needs help to go to the toilet. How could someone so proud of Lu Mo survive 11 years? Yi Qingqing has pity in his heart, and plans to find a way to heal Lu Mo's legs and let him return to the battlefield, even if he asks all over the world in the future. It must not be like in the previous life, the glory that Lu Mo exchanged for his legs, all let this scumbag Lu Qingchuan dabble. In the army, he became a leader at the age of 35. Humph. You don't even want to be the squad leader in this lifetime. Lu Mo and Lu Qingchuan are cousins. Lu Mo is only a few months older and is the posthumous son of the boss of the Lu family. The boss of the Lu family died during a mission. Lu Mo has not seen his father since he was born. His mother, Lin Shufang, she never remarried and stayed in the Lu family to raise Lu Mo. Lu Qingchuan and Lu Mo are in the same army, but Lu Mo is much more promising than him. He has already entered the special team at a young age, but Lu Qingchuan is still an ordinary soldier now. According to the rules set by Mr. Lu, the men of the Lu family must never use their privileges. They must rely on their true abilities to climb up step by step. If you can't climb up, you will automatically get out. Don't stay in the army and be embarrassed. Qingqing, do you remember what I taught you? Don't make a mistake when you look back. If you say it today, your parents will come to the door tomorrow. Yi Lan's voice was disturbing in her ears, interrupting Yi Qingqing's memories. She raised her head and glanced at Yi Lan, and suddenly said, "You and Lu Qingchuan are very familiar." A panic flashed across Yi Lan's face, but she quickly regained her calm and said with a smile, "You were sleeping, Qingqing, and brother Qingchuan couldn't wait. That's why I told you that brother Qingchuan's feelings for you can be seen by a 3-year-old child." What? Yi Qingqing's face was expressionless, unlike her usual smile when she heard Lu Qingchuan. Yi Lan secretly scolded Yi Qingqing for being hypocritical, but she still had to figure out a way to coax this fool and not destroy brother Qingchuan's plan. She sighed and laughed at herself. With such a broken body, how can I expect love? It's good to be alive. Also, I've heard that people with a bad heart may die if they kiss. Yi Lan, you should read more Buddhist scriptures and meditate. Yi Qingqing said seriously. Yi Lan felt a little pain in her chest. She hurriedly slowed down her breathing to calm herself down. It's not worth being angry with this fool. She must live a good life. When she gets the property of this fool, her heart will be gone. Yi Qingqing looked at Yi Lan, whose lips were getting bluer and purple, and felt much better in her heart. Yi Lan has a congenital heart disease, so she can't be overjoyed, angry and sad, and she can't do strenuous exercise. She goes to school and spends 3 days fishing and 2 days drying the net. She stays at home and eats and waits to die every day. Never disliked her spending money on medicines, nor allowed her to go to work, so she kept it like that. Yi Qingqing's heart sank, and there was one thing she ignored. In her previous life, before killing Yi Lan, she eavesdropped on the words of the 2 sluts. Lu Qingchuan said that she wanted to use her heart, so she let her slowly boil in prison, but because she contracted liver disease in prison, so I changed Xiaodong's. But her blood type is not the same as Yi Lan's. She is O type. Like Yi Zhigua, Yi Lan is B type. How could Lu Qingchuan make such a low-level mistake? Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 6, Red Dress Like Fire. Yi Qingqing glanced at Yi Lan, whose expression had become calm, and asked, "What blood type are you?" Yi Lan looked puzzled and replied, "Type B." Why did Qingqing ask this all of a sudden? Just ask, you and Yihua should be the same blood type, right? Yi Qingqing pretended to ask casually. She and Yi Lan had already boarded the bus, and the Lu family lived in the military compound, 5 stops away from her home. Of course it's the same. Xiaohua and I are both of my father's blood type, and Qingqing, your blood type is the same as my father's. Yi Lan said with a smile, but her hands silently clenched into fists. Well, most of the children have the same blood type as their father. Type O blood is good, and universal blood. Yi Qingqing didn't find anything wrong, so she didn't feel in the mood to chat with her anymore. She turned her face to the car window and looked at the scenery on the street outside. I ignored the strange expression on Yi Lan's face. Qingqing, it's almost time for the compound, do you know what to say? Yi Lan reminded again. Yi Qingqing hummed, her expression very impatient. Yi Lan didn't dare to provoke her again, and she had already reminded her so many times, this fool should keep it in mind. Thinking of the upcoming good show, Yi Lan couldn't help but raise the corner of her mouth. Lu Qingchuan told Yi Qingqing to speak more euphemistically on the phone, not to mention that Lu Mo was a crippled thing, just say that his personality is not good. But she wanted to let Yi Qingqing say that Lu Mo was disabled and completely lost his favor with Grandpa Lu. Let's see how this fool will rely on Grandpa Lu in the future. When the compound arrived, Yi Qingqing got out of the car. The sun was shining brightly. As soon as his feet stepped on the asphalt, the heat wave rushed up, just like taking a sauna. Yi Qingqing often came to the compound, and all the sentries knew her, so she was released without interrogation. It's so hot, I'm a little dizzy. Qingqing, I can't walk anymore, you go first, I'll rest here for a while. Yilan sat weakly under the shade of the roadside, her face as white as paper. Yi Qingqing looked at her quietly, her dark eyes made Yilan's heart tremble. Go to sit under the tree over there, sitting on the side of the road is unsightly. Yi Qingqing pointed to the big tree on the other side. There was a bench under the tree, and Yilan's chest started to hurt again. Yi Qingqing's words were as unpleasant as before, but she felt that today's Yi Qingqing was particularly discreet. Is it because she mentioned brother Qingchuan a few times just now that this fool is jealous? The more Yilan thought about it, the more she felt that it was possible, and she despised Yi Qingqing even more, but she was relieved, and when she turned around, she could just coax a few words. It's still Qingqing, you're thoughtful, you can go over there, I'll find you later. Yilan sat under the shade of the tree and felt much more comfortable, so she asked Yi Qingqing to go to Lu's house. Yi Qingqing glanced at the big tree above her head, turned her head and walked away, her red skirt fluttered with her pace, like a walking red cloud, it was really beautiful. Yilan has always liked to wear white dresses, but she only likes red dresses, because she likes red that is flamboyant, especially red like fire. Looking at the back of the beautiful and flamboyant girl, Yilan had jealousy in her eyes, she was so energetic, so healthy, she never dared to walk in big strides, and she never wanted to do it in her whole life. Yilan's gentle face gradually turned cold. When Yi Qingqing went to Lu's house to make an appearance, she would appear again and let Grandpa Lu see who is a good, sensible and caring girl. Yi Qingqing, who had been tortured in prison, was no longer the stupid girl who used to have a bowel movement. She could see through Yilan's careful thoughts at a glance. Yilan would even run over after a while, pretending to persuade her not to make trouble. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 7, Lu Mo, hello. Yilan did this in her previous life. At that time, she was stupid and couldn't see Yilan's insidiousness, Grandpa Lu's disappointment, and Lu Mo's injury at that time. Fortunately, she came back, and she can make up for all the mistakes she made in her previous life. Yi Qingqing stood at the gate of the Lu family, took a deep breath, raised her hand and rang the doorbell. The person who came to open the door was Lin Shufang, Lu Mo's mother, a weak and kind woman, but she died suddenly at home in a previous life. She was the only one present at the time, and she was sent to prison. Qingqing is here, come in quickly. Lin Shufang looked at Yi Qingqing lovingly, she always loved Yi Qingqing as her daughter. Aunt Fang, I'll come to see brother Lu Mo. Yi Qingqing said her intention, Lin Shufang sighed, her eyes were red, thank you for remembering Lu Mo, His voice became choked, and he couldn't speak anymore. Aunt Fang, don't worry, medicine is getting more and more developed, and brother Lu Mo will definitely stand up again. You have to be confident. Yi Qingqing comforted. Well. I will. Lin Shufang wiped away her tears, she couldn't cry in front of her son, it would make him feel more uncomfortable. Lin Shufang quickly realized that something was wrong. Qingqing, how do you know that Lu Mo is back? Lu Mo just came back today, and he didn't have time to call the Yi family. How did this kid Qingqing know? Lu Qingchuan called and told Yilan that Yilan told me that brother Lu Mo couldn't stand up anymore, so I came here. Yi Qingqing quietly put some eye drops on Yilan. Lin Shufang's complexion changed slightly, and she felt annoyed at Lu Qingchuan and Yilan in her heart. She had to tell the old man when she turned back. Yilan was an outsider who said that, and Lu Qingchuan was a cousin, so why would he want Lu Mo to be a waste? What is the heart of peace? Good boy, you have your heart. Lin Shufang looked at Yi Qingqing with relief. In the past, this girl was close to Lu Qingchuan and didn't play with Lu Mo very much, but at the critical moment, Qingqing girl still had Lu Mo in her heart, alas. I also blame Lu Mo for being too cold and not good at coaxing girls. Unlike Lu Qingchuan's mouth with honey. The family doesn't talk about the two families. Aunt Fang is not polite to me. Yi Qingqing blushed a little, she seemed to be too proactive, but Lu Mo's ice cube, if she didn't have the enthusiasm like volcanic lava, how could it melt? Okay, Auntie is not polite to you. Lin Shufang heard what Yi Qingqing meant, and saw the shyness on her face, and loved this girl even more. Adversity sees people's hearts, Qingqing girl is really caring to be able to come and say such words at this time. Yi Qingqing followed Lin Shufang into the house. This house was assigned by the compound to Mr. Lu. The second bedroom lived here, and the third bedroom lived outside. But at this time, the 3 bedrooms were all gathered in the living room, including those in wheelchairs. Luo, 24-year-old Luo is very young, his hair is still black, his face is like a glacier-carved cold face, his sword eyebrows fly diagonally into his temples, his nose bridge is high, and his perfectly thin lips are tightly pressed, so he cannot tell his mood at the moment. But the slightly pale face showed that his body was still very weak at this time. Grandpa Lu, second Uncle Lu, third Uncle Lu. Second aunt and third aunt are good. Yi Qingqing called for a while, and finally looked at Lu Mo, who had no expression on his face, and smiled brightly. "Hello, brother Lu Mo." Lu Mo raised his eyes and looked at the girl in a red dress, the fiancée he had been betrothed to since he was a child, but he ignored him. He had a heated fight with his cousin Lu Qingchuan, but now he is suddenly so enthusiastic that Lu Mo was born vigilance. Is it because of pity that he became disabled? Lu Mo's heart stabbed, and the chill on his body increased. What he hates most now is pity. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 8, One will be able to stand up. Seeing that Lu Mo didn't respond, Yi Qingqing called out again, "Brother Lu Mo. Amo, Qingqing is greeting you." Lin Shufang was anxious, annoyed that her son didn't understand the style, and the young girls took the initiative to come over. Lu Mo responded with a cold face, "Yeah." Then came the indifferent face. Lin Shufang was so angry that her liver hurt, she planned to turn around and talk about her son, but she didn't like to treat a young girl like this. She looked like a dead girl. No matter how good a girl was, she got angry and ran away. Where would she go to find a daughter-in-law? Yi Qingqing didn't care. In her previous life, Lu Mo always had an ice face on her face. She used to be blind and brainless, so she felt that Lu Mo didn't understand the style, and Lu Qingchuan, who had no sweet words, was easy to get along with. But now she understands that Lu Mo is cold-hearted and warm-hearted, thousands of times stronger than Lu Qingchuan, who is sweet-smelling. No. One is a human, the other is a beast, the races are different, there is no comparison. Grandpa Lu, now that medicine is developed, brother Lu Mo will definitely get better, we must have confidence. Yi Qingqing wanted to ease the atmosphere when she saw that the Lu family members were all gloomy and the atmosphere was very heavy. Moreover, such an environment is not good for Lu Mo's recovery. The family lost their confidence. Where did Lu Mo's confidence come from? Who wouldn't say it? The nerves are broken, no matter how advanced the medicine is. Yu Hongxia, the second daughter-in-law, Lu Qingchuan's mother, whispered. Yi Qingqing could hear it clearly, but she was not angry. Yu Hongxia and Lu Qingchuan were worthy of being a mother and son, and their hearts were both dark. This woman was also involved in her tragic experience in her previous life. Lu Mo's face became paler and paler. He was very aware of his injury. The nerves in both legs were necrotic and could not be recovered at all. In the future, the legs would shrink more and eventually become decorations. He could never stand up again in his whole life. It is also impossible to return to the battlefield and fight side by side with comrades. Lin Shufang's face was even more ugly, but her temperament was soft, and even if she was annoyed, she couldn't say anything serious, she could only hold back her anger. Second aunt, you are not a doctor. Why do you say that brother Lu Mo can't get better? Besides, it's not the end, why should you draw conclusions early? I said that brother Lu Mo can get better, and he will definitely stand up again. Yi Qingqing, his expression was very firm. Lu Mo's heart skipped a beat, and he couldn't help but look at Yi Qingqing. In his direction, he saw the girl's beautiful profile and her firm and bright eyes. Yi Qingqing really believed that he would stand up. He didn't even have confidence in himself, but this girl made a promise. Lu Mo's heart couldn't help but feel warmer, and his confidence increased. The comrades in arms, leaders, and relatives I've seen these days, all sighed and looked at him with either sympathy or pity, including my grandfather and mother. Only Yi Qingqing. She said he would definitely stand up. Lu Mo's already desperate heart gradually warmed up and started to warm up. Yi Qingqing is right, until the end, no one can come to a conclusion, why do you say he can't stand up? Lu Mo will never admit defeat easily. Being confronted by the little girl in front of the whole family, Yu Hongxia couldn't hold back her face. She was very angry, and she was even more dissatisfied with Yi Qingqing. For the sake of money, she had already cut her son off from this dead girl. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 9, Justifiably Take Care of Lu Mo. Qingqing, you're not afraid to sway your waist when you talk big. Experts and professors all say that it can't be cured. What do you know, a little girl? Who can't say it verbally? Yu Hongxia scoffed. Lu Mo was injured, and she was the happiest. If it weren't for the scruples of the old man, Yu Hongxia would have set off firecrackers to celebrate. Her son, who was born in the same year as Lu Mo, was only 2 months younger, but Lu Mo was out of the limelight. When others mentioned the grandson of the Lu family, they would say that the grandson of the Lu family was Lu Mo, and her son Lu Qingquan was not remembered at all. Even when he went to the army, Lu Mo pressed her son everywhere. Lu Mo has made great strides in the army, and even went to the most glorious special team. Now she is a major, but her son can only be an ordinary soldier, and he was barely rated as a second lieutenant in the first 2 months. Originally, based on Lu Qingquan's age and qualifications, it was a pleasant surprise to be rated as a second lieutenant, but compared with Lu Mo, a major of the same age but with outstanding military achievements, Lu Qingquan instantly became a scum. Yu Hongxia secretly cursed Lu Mo to die on the battlefield more than once. Even if he didn't die, he would be crippled. Don't block her son's Qingyun Avenue. Unexpectedly, God really heard her prayers, and the stumbling block on her son's Qingyun Avenue was finally broken. In the future, the Lu family will have to rely on her son to support her. Although Yu Hongxia tried her best to suppress the schadenfreude and ecstasy in her heart, her tone still showed a little bit involuntarily. Lin Shufang felt like a knife twisted in her heart. She couldn't bear it any longer, and said angrily, "Second brother and sister, something happened to my amo, are you? Very happy. Sister-in-law, please don't wrong me. I don't know how sad I am. I really feel sorry for Lu Mo. I was disabled at a young age, and I can't take care of myself in the future." Yu Hongxia kept saying that she was sad for Lu Mo, but what she said was like a knife, stabbed into the hearts of Lin Shufang and Lu Mo. Yi Qingqing interrupted Yu Hongxia loudly, "I will take care of big brother Lu Mo before he stands up again." "Oh, Qingqing, you are not ashamed, you are a little girl, do you know the difference between men and women? How do you take care of it? Could it be that you can wipe his body and for him?" Yu Hongxia said sharply. Lu Mo felt a pain in his heart, and he didn't want Yi Qingqing to be troubled by the second aunt because of him. He opened his mouth to help her, but Yi Qingqing was faster than him. "I'm the fiancé of brother Lu Mo, and it's just right to take care of him, and it's all this time. You still say that there are differences between men and women. Second aunt, you are so narrow-minded." The old man Lu, who had been silent for a long time, had a slight smile in his eyes. Because Yi Qingqing and Lu Qingquan got close to each other 2 years ago, the old man was thinking about whether to reconsider this marriage, but now it seems that there is no need. Mr. Lu is very pleased. Qingqing girl is worthy of being the granddaughter of an old friend, she has a pure and good character, and there is no ambiguity in whether it is right or wrong. He really found the right granddaughter. It turned out that Yi Qingqing's grandfather, Mr. Su, and Mr. Lu were best friends on the labor reform farm. At that time, Mr. Lu was in poor health because he was beaten. Fortunately, Mr. Su took care of him and was able to survive those difficult years. But just when the turmoil was over and they could all go home, the squib had an accident during the bombing of the mountain, and Mr. Su was seriously injured trying to save him. Before he died, Mr. Su was most worried about his daughter Su Yali and the baby in her stomach. Child. Mr. Lu swore at the time that if Su Yali had a boy, he would be his grandson and would be treated the same as Lu Mo. If Su Yali had a daughter, she would marry Lu Mo as his wife, and he would love her like a granddaughter. Rebirth 90s, Hot Wife Flirting Chapter 10, Don't blame me for being crippled. However, because of Yi Qingqing's words, Lu Mo's face flushed. Just now, Yu Hongxia said that she was right when she said that she wiped her body with feces and urinated. He really can't take care of his own life now, and now he needs the help of others that he could easily accomplish in the past. Lu Mo couldn't help but think that Yi Qingqing was wiping his body for him. His heart beat faster and his face turned redder. Second aunt has been worrying too much. The army sent lifeguards for me. Lu Mo said lightly. Lin Shufang only found the opportunity at this time. She resisted her anger and said bitterly, Amo and me. As long as I live for one day, Amo will be taken care of. Sister-in-law, why are you mad at me? I didn't make Lu Mo crippled. Yu Hongxia's words were interrupted by Yi Qingqing. Second aunt, why do you say that Lu Mo is disabled? Lu Mo just injured his leg. He will definitely be cured in the future, and he will definitely stand up. She paused for a while, then said very firmly, Lu Mo is not a cripple, no one is allowed to call him a cripple, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. There is a sound, and the sound is in the ear. Yi Qingqing's words moved everyone in the Lu family and looked at her in surprise. Lu Mo's mood was the most surging. He really didn't expect Yi Qingqing to protect him like this. It was too unexpected. In fact, he didn't have any feelings for Yi Qingqing. He only knew that this girl was very beautiful and had a nice voice, and that she was the fiancée that his grandfather had given him when he was very young, because Yi Qingqing's grandfather had saved his grandfather's life. Based on this alone, Lu Mo was willing to take responsibility for Yi Qingqing. Because grandpa is the person he loves the most. But Yi Qingqing didn't like him. She liked her cousin Lu Qingchuan. Lu Mo knew very well that Yi Qingqing couldn't hide the admiration in his eyes when she looked at Lu Qingchuan. But at this moment, Yi Qingqing suddenly made such a big play of protecting the husband when he became disabled. Lu Mo couldn't react for a while, but he quickly figured it out. Yi Qingqing must be pitying him. The girl always likes to show her excess sympathy to the weak, but Lu Mo doesn't need it. When he will chat with Yi Qingqing in private, the marriage contract between them will end here, or it can be transferred to Lu Qingchuan. I think Yi Qingqing will be very willing to come. Of course. Lu Mo is still very grateful for Yi Qingqing's maintenance at this time. Yi Qingqing in a red dress, like the warm sun in winter, shot into Lu Mo's cold heart, the ice and snow melted, and his confidence recovered. I'm just a little late, so you bully my battalion commander, don't blame me for being rude. At the door stood a fat, dark and loyal soldier, very young with a childish look on his face. The corners of Yi Qingqing's lips rose slightly. This black guy is a loyal fan of Lu Mo, his name is Niu Taidan. Lu Mo's daily life is not convenient. Very appropriate. However, in order not to delay Niu Taidan's future, Lu Mo in his previous life only let him take care of Niu Taidan for 3 years, he just sent Niu Taidan Jia back to the army, and the army sent someone to take care of him again. But the few lifeguards who came later were not as careful as Niu Taidan, and they only showed respect for Lu Mo, so they didn't take good care of him. Niu Taidan walked over and stood beside Lu Mo. Like He Zhuzi, he stared at Yu Hongxia with big eyes like bull's eyes. Humph. It's this old lady, he heard it all just now, with a vertebrate face with triangular eyes and high cheekbones, it's not a good thing to look at first glance.